Having trouble sleeping? Well, you are not alone. 1 in 2 Australians alone have trouble sleeping, which is actually wild considering sleep hygiene is like one of the main factors of good health and longevity. So today we are going to dive into the covers with you and talk about all things related to sleep, bad sleep, and how to have good sleep. Obviously, as parents of a 1 and 3-year-old, we know what sleep deprivation is like. And obviously, as well, those external factors aren't something that are necessarily within your control or able to change. But what we are going to go into today is the things that you can change for certain sleep issues that are really within your control and your parameters of your own ability to drive your own health and destiny. Yes.
That's a great point. Just to add to that, so like things like dogs living in a high traffic area,
Kids.
kids,
Did we mention kids?
and
Babies?
toddlers, babies.
Yeah.
All of those things are massive factors in sleep. So if it's like making sure that those things aren't
Oh,
the factor,
Yeah.
that's the first thing to do, is just like deliberate that. But
Yeah.
continue on.
And obviously those factors as well, if they're what's affecting your sleep, then you just have to do everything else within the daytime that you can get treatment and supplements and rest and things like that.
Yeah, you still need to look after yourself.
Yeah, that's how you minimize the impact of that as best as possible. But yeah, we're actually going to go into a whole lot of other things now. So there's 6 thereabouts main kind of issues. There's probably a lot more.
Probably more, but yeah.
But yeah, so the first one is just can't get to sleep, like tossing, turning, can't switch off for whatever reason, just can't fall asleep properly. Waking up at different times. So it's really common to like always wake up at 1 a.m. or 3 a.m. And that really has actually a lot of meaning in the diagnosis of what's going on for your body because it's related to a specific organ. Light sleep. So I think this is something that insomnia really thing. And I can, as a mum as well, can really relate to that, being in that light sleep state where I'm like, I feel like I'm still thinking and awake, but I am actually asleep. So I'm like, my body is resting, but my mind is still going. So that light sleep state, nightmares or really intense dreams is another really big disruptor of sleep. Sweats, night sweats, getting up to pee all the time. It's also really common. Is there anything you think we've missed, Dr. Shane?
Waking up fatigued.
Oh yeah, of course. Like having a really good sleep, but waking up exhausted. Yeah. So let's start at the first one. What happens and what do you do if you just can't fall asleep?
First, we need to talk about like what that actually is. So is it a fact that you're not switching off at night time? Are you working too late? Maybe you've eaten dinner too late.
Exercising too late.
Anything that really stimulates drinking coffee too late in the day, or caffeine stimulants or medication.
Yeah.
So blue light, like the big one these days is ADHD medications because they're amphetamines, all that sort of stuff. So it's like you got to weigh in all of that. So is it a medication problem? Is it a drug problem? Same thing, drugs and medicine. Exercise, like look at all the lifestyle factors first. Eliminate that. And then we're going, okay, like you can't get to sleep. What's your sleep hygiene like? What time do you start getting ready to go to bed? What does your bedroom look like? Yeah. All of those sorts of things.
Yeah, you're watching TV in bed.
Yeah. Addressing all of that sort of stuff first.
Yeah.
What are you actually thinking about? Are you thinking about work? Are you thinking about your marital problems? Are you thinking about your children? Like, what's the actual thing that you're thinking about?
That's one of the external factors right there. Our dog's waking up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So taking into account all of that, from a Chinese medicine perspective, it's usually a spleen deficiency that stops you from falling asleep. So that's because the mind overthinking things. So it's just a tick, 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 tick. So what information are we taking in? Are we taking in, are we scrolling on our phones too late at night? Are we thinking too deeply about that? So then that comes down to, okay, how do we get up a solid switch off routine?
Yeah.
And switching off routine doesn't start at 8:30 or 9 o'clock when you're getting ready to go to bed. It starts at midday.
Oh, really?
So it's like, so midday you hit your peak yang.
Yeah.
So it's like after midday, you stop doing all your hard work and you're supposed to just go into cruise control. So it's like if you look at a cycle in yin and yang, so dawn, when you wake up, everything's going up to peak yang. Peak yang's midday, and then peak yang it starts to come back down. So everything after midday should be starting to slow down. And so we're looking at what are we doing at like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon? Are you starting to switch off, or are you working until 7, 8 o'clock at night? So taking in all of those sorts of things into account. What are you doing at 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock's a really crucial point in switching off. And that's sunset. So what are you doing at sunset? Are you pushing through, or are you using that time to really switch off and wind down for the day, like completely detaching from work and all that sort of stuff?
I was just thinking about 5 o'clock for me. With
Yeah,
kids.
it's
Like
witching out.
they are switching off.
Yeah,
They're like
their
pushing
switch
out all
off.
the emotions of the day.
Correct. That's their switch off. Their
Yeah.
switch off is to purge their emotions. Why it's called the witching hour.
Yeah.
So that time of day is that time where you're supposed to switch off. And as a parent, that's actually quite, as of young children, that can be quite stressful.
Yeah.
So taking that into account as well.
Yeah. Mm. And so, yeah. What about when you're waking at different times, like those common times, 1, 3 a.m.?
So the most common times are 11, midnight, 1, 3, and 5. So 11 and midnight is gallbladder time. So usually that's got to do with eating too late at night time.
Yeah.
So because the digestive system is working too much. So in Chinese medicine, you shouldn't really eat after sunset. That's as late as it gets. So if you like in some cultures, like South American cultures, like they'll have dinner at midnight.
Yeah, really.
So it's a whole different thing. So taking in all the cultural effects, but like for a person that's just living a normal Western style lifestyle, the best thing to do is stop eating around sunset, 5, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
If you're eating at like 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, you may wake up again at 11 or 12.
Yeah.
That's one issue. There's a couple other things that may be going on at that time, but that's a nuance. So, but yeah, that's the main thing around 11 or 12. 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock are the next most common times. That's the liver. So it moves into the liver time. So if there's inflammation in the liver, then the liver will wake you up as well. Waking between 3 and 5 can be lung. Some people relate that back to antioxidants. So there might be too many free radicals in the system floating around. So inflammation, antioxidants, looking at that balance in the system. In Chinese medicine, there's where it gets a bit more esoteric is like looking at the mind and the spirit side of things. So the hun is said to come back into the body at 3 a.m. So it leaves anywhere between 9 and midnight. So if you're not in bed by midnight, the hun checks out anyway. That's why the world goes to chaos after midnight when you're out partying. So after midnight, shit just blows up and there's fights and everyone gets really messy and emotional because at midnight, it leaves. There's no hold to it. It's supposed to start to leave around 9 o'clock. And I've experienced this in my life between 9 and 12 when I've been up and I've been at parties and stuff and I've like felt that start to happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Yeah, the energy shifts completely. At midnight, you have no control of it. And I think that's why I like the whole story of Cinderella. It's like midnight, you've got to be home. And so after midnight, it just falls to shit because the hun's gone and the wheels come off and you're out of control. And so at 3 o'clock, it comes back into the body. And so that's one of the things where it wakes you up at returning home. So the liver's in excess if that wakes you up.
Yeah. And so like herbs, acupuncture, some other lifestyle adjustments.
Lifestyle tweaks. One of the best things to do actually is if you're waking between 1 and 3 is actually to have a nap between 1 and 3 in the afternoon.
Oh, that's nice.
So like the 15-minute kip siesta, most cultures around the world had siestas. There was more up until very recently, there was more cultures that did siesta than cultures that didn't.
Yeah. I mean, we're all for the quick little naps. And so, what about the light sleep? So, this is really common. I think you hear it a lot about people saying, I don't sleep all night.
Yeah.
I'm awake all night. And technically their body is asleep and things have slowed down and relaxing, but the mind is still very much active. And I actually experienced this last night just because between the toddler and the little toddler, they're both awake quite a lot last night. So somewhere between 3 and 5 a.m. I got a bit of sleep, but I felt like I was still really awake. And
Yeah.
I was like in that, and I was going over all the things and
Yeah.
that we had to do. So yeah, what do you do about that? And it's really interesting. Like obviously you are getting some level of rest and restoration, but yeah, you quite hear a lot of people say, I don't sleep at all.
Yeah.
But they are sleeping.
And yeah, so like I'll address that first. So it's like one of the most common things I get with sleep with people that think that they're insomniacs, like they're actually awake, is that when you actually question them, they are sleeping, but they're in that light sleep. So they're still, they're still conscious that they're asleep. So they're in that state. So they are in a relaxed state, but in that it's kind of almost like a fever hallucination. And so you've got to treat it like that. So it's almost like potentially there is some level of pathogenic factor in the body where the person is low level fevering. And so that they've got that low grade fever in their system, we need to sort of work on that. And there is usually other symptoms that you can sort of work out. There might be a cough or like a sore throat or some sort of digestive issue that goes with it. There's other things that will come into that, maybe like sweating or anything. It's
Even if it's been really chronic, like we're talking somebody who's experienced this for
could be a chronic pathogen, that's been sitting in their system for a long, long time.
Right.
It can be quite difficult to treat and take a long time to treat it. But yeah, it's got to do with the fact that the body isn't allowing them to fully sink in. And that's only one reason. There could be other things, like there could be a yin deficiency. There could be a number of factors playing into that. But I found the most common thing is actually like a light pathogen.
And it's quite treatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but it's like a fever.
Yeah. I mean, you use herbs for that as well.
Herbs and acupuncture, but they need regular treatments, like 2 to 3 treatments a week for a couple of weeks at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only other thing that spots mine is some people that I've like met who are like, I'm an insomniac and I don't sleep, is there's a lot of identity attachment to it as well, which is a bit of a mental health thing. Is it is sleep and mental health?
Well, sleep comes under mental health in Chinese medicine, so it's a thing of the Shen, or the mind. Okay. It's
Yeah. Well, if you're not sleeping very well, you do feel a bit batshit crazy.
Yeah.
So
it's the restoring factor of the mind, is the psychological factor of it.
And so can you tell me a bit more about nightmares and dreams and that the people who are experiencing those intense things and that's disrupting your sleep, like recurring nightmares or dreams or...
So there's a few things that, like we could do a whole podcast on actual dreams and different dream readings and all that sort of stuff. I'd have to look it up. Yeah. Because it's so nuanced.
We can look it up or we can just make it.
It's like, is the person dreaming of water? Is the person dreaming of fire? Is the person dreaming of earthquakes? So that
you relate that to the element.
Yeah. And all of the different things like that.
And would you look up someone's vatsa as well and relate it to that?
I could. It's not my jam to do. No, so she's talking about people's astrology. If you look up people's astrology as to what's going on with that, you could. I wouldn't. It's not my... and it's probably not really necessary to treat it. It's like it's only if the person's really, like, if that's their problem, like their recurrent nightmares, like for instance, like in kids, it could be night terrors where they're having a recurring dream that's constantly terrorizing them to wake up. Yeah, that was what, like, then you'd analyze a dream. Okay, what's the emotion of it? Is it anger? Is it sadness? Is it grief? Is it like... what is it? Then it gives you an idea of what organs at play. Yeah. And then just treat it in that sense. There's things like, waking up in panic can be a blood deficiency.
Like when I was postpartum and I was having those...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a heart blood deficiency.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add on that?
Yep.
Okay. Night sweats.
Yep. Again, so we've got to eliminate a few things. So is there a fever? So is there a pathogen involved? Aging. So you become yin deficient or the fluid deficiencies as you get older. So menopause, the fluids start to decrease. So then it stops the regulation of the temperature. So that's the first thing to look at there. Is there excess heat? So alcohol, hot foods, fried foods, that'll all make you sweat. summer in the Sunshine Coast,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Do you have 2 toddlers like attached to you?
Yeah.
And what about waking up to pee 500 times a night?
Usually overwork. So
Oh,
it's called a kidney qi deficiency. Or a kidney yang deficiency. So as you get older, it becomes more common. So to tonify the kidney yang as you get older, or the kidney qi. But that basically means you just need more rest.
yeah, which is interesting because it's a really common thing when you're pregnant as well, which is, partly obvious because you're growing a baby.
To use you as the perfect example of when we first started dating, and we were driving back and forth between Byron and Sunshine Coast.
I couldn't make the trip.
You couldn't make the trip.
No.
So, but as soon as you started getting treatments,
it was fine.
Yeah, and so that's a kidney deficiency.
Yeah, exactly. And also when I was pregnant, there was one point I was needing to get up more once a night, and then you started treating me specifically for that. And some nights I didn't even have to get up. And I used to tell other pregnant women about this, and they're like, "What? You don't get up to pee, or only once a night?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And so it's these things sometimes that you think are so common and just like acceptable, but it's like, actually you can treat this. Like,
So
please do something
one of the
this.
things we talk about in Chinese medicine, or amongst my peer group, is there's what people think is normal, and what's common.
Yeah, exactly.
So a lot of things are really common, like period pain, but it's not normal.
No,
so it's like
you
don't it doesn't have to be happening. So like waking frequently to pee or frequent urination is common, but it's not normal, and you can do something about it. It's like having headaches; they're common, but they're not normal. Yeah. So all of that sort of stuff is really, most of it can be addressed through acupuncture and herbs and lifestyle.
And what about, let's say you're a really good sleeper. You go to sleep well, you sleep all night, you have a good amount of rest, 8 hours or whatever, you wake up exhausted.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Probably the body's in excess. So there's usually like excess heat, excess dampness in the body. So if you're waking up feeling heavy, really slow to get started, stagnation, the body's just like, ugh. Or you run in on complete empty. So there's a number of things. My way to sort of diagnose that for a lot of people is I say, like, once you get going, do you feel okay? And they're like, usually like, yeah, okay, so you're in excess. You just need to get everything moving. And if they say, no, I feel even worse as the day goes on, then they're running on empty.
They're very depleted.
They're very depleted. Yeah. So you've got to build them up with herbs, supplements, diet before anything else.
And most of the answers are kind of really the same thing, aren't they? But there's just a nuance in what the treatments and the supplements and the lifestyle adjustments are.
Yeah.
It's just looking at all of the factors that's going on for the person. But these are some common things.
Yeah.
Just random question there. What would you say about people who say, I'm not a morning person, and just thinking about this, like not being able to wake up and stuff? Is that like, are humans actually morning people? Like, we're supposed to wake with the sun, right? And sleep with the sun, going to bed.
Well, I just look at like little kids.
Yeah. They're so natural.
They would go to bed with the sun, they wake up with the sun.
Yeah.
It's been beaten out of us. It's like, it's being taught, lights, especially light bulbs, and staying up late at night and being able to stay later at night, working to the night. One of my teachers, our teacher Yost, talks about it a lot, is a lot of people like to work until the night because you can sort of tap into like the more cosmic energies that make you more creative. And so
I'm a night person.
So I'm a creative at night, and I can stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm just so much more creative at that time because there's a different type of energy that you get access to at that time of night. And because you are supposed to be asleep. So, and again, it's because the hun's gone. So it's like you're actually connected to what Carl Jung used to call the cosmic consciousness, because the hun actually returns to the cosmic consciousness. And so you still have that connection through an invisible cord. So you're actually able to tap into more things like that. So people that say they're night owls, they are, but you shouldn't be. And it's not, don't put it into a thing. Some people just crank their pants and don't like the morning.
You do you?
Yeah. There's no
Don't call me because I will talk to you.
There's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong about it. It's just like, I love the mornings, but I don't like talking to people in the morning. So it's like, I love being up at that time, but I don't like, I'm not one to like, hey, let's have a conversation. Whereas you're the opposite. You like, let's just talk.
with a full breakfast. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so encouraged.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to discuss, like about sleep from a Chinese medicine perspective, Eastern medicine perspective, that's useful for people to know?
I mean, I think it's not so much the Eastern medicine perspective, and I think a lot of people are catching on to it now, but like the blue light and from an Eastern medicine perspective, they don't talk anything specifically about it because when they wrote the books, there was no lights.
Yes, true.
So it's like, it just everyone went to bed and woke up with the sun. There was no one staying up. Well, there was people that did, but different reasons. But you weren't staying up until midnight for the fact that you just could. So those sorts of things, they're not in the text. But when you read between the lines, it's like, and I could grab one of the books right now, and it's like literally the first line is the people of the ancient past kept their bed hours at regular times. It's like the first line. So
it's like the start. It's like it's like the basic.
And that's a book written 2,000 years ago, and it's saying the people of the ancient times kept their bedtime at a regular hour. So it's like, what the hell were they like prior to that? So it's like turning off your electricity.
Yeah.
After sunset is like one of the most important things.
Or at least fixing the light. You put in the red lights in and stuff like that.
Yeah, red lights and red glasses.
Yeah, we love blocking glasses. Maybe we'll share a little link for people about that.
Yeah.
Actually, another little tool that you have that's really useful about that is the lifestyle audit.
No, yeah.
Oh, no, it's the lifestyle
audit. Yeah, it's the lifestyle
audit. It goes through your day.
Yeah, the day, the week, the month.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can look at where you need to adjust for your own like self-examination.
Yeah.
So that's a really awesome tool. So we'll share that with people, and that's super easy to do. It's like 20, 25 minutes or something. Was there a hierarchy of basic things that you need and like good light, hygiene and sleep, isn't it?
So Dr. Jack Kruse talks about that in the hierarchies, like, because he always argues that like diet and exercise is like
actually not
that important. So he was talking about light being the most important. So making sure that you're getting enough morning light, evening light, and daylight. So like equivalents of infrared in the morning, infrared at nighttime, and the blue light during the day. So being out at the sun in midday, at sunrise and sunset, and making sure that your body's getting that. And that also equates to Chinese medicine. Absolutely. So light, and then the equivalent is absolute darkness. So sleeping in absolute darkness.
Yeah.
And then his list is like, there's a few other things after that. It's like no EMFs. I think it's good water.
Yeah. No,
after that, and then it's diet, then it's lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is so interesting because everyone always thinks like
diet and exercise. Yeah.
But actually, they're important still, but they're like not on the top of the hierarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really fascinating.
Yeah, it is actually in the old textbooks. It's just you kind of got to read in between the lines and go, actually, when they wrote these things, there was no electricity.
Yeah, there wasn't the same pollution.
There was no light pollution at all in those times when they wrote those books. So it's like they literally say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. And yeah, just to summarize a bit, like what would be your advice to someone who's struggling with sleep? Like where do they start, just from a basic point of view?
So addressing it. So like, okay, what time you like, is it can't sleep, can't get to sleep, waking up at certain times? Like, what is it? Then
what are the factors?
What are the factors of that?
Yeah.
And some that, like, one of the things that people really struggle with when I say it to them is like, okay, if you haven't slept, you still need to wake up early. So like, you actually don't fix your sleep by fixing sleeping in. You can't actually catch up. Get up and get on with your day. You're more likely to fix your sleep by just living a normal life instead of trying to sleep more. And if you need to sleep, take a 15-minute keep in the afternoon. Yeah. That's 100% the best thing that you could do.
Yeah, right. Interesting. Yeah.
So basically, like if you're waking up if you're waking at 1 a.m., wake up at 5 a.m. Anyway, get up, or 6 a.m., get up, do some exercise.
Yeah.
And then get on with your day. No matter how exhausted you are, you will fix it quicker that way than any other way. The other thing is if you're really out of whack, go camping for 4 days, no electricity. And like reset yourself to nature if you have that privilege to be able to go camping for 4 days, because it's a privilege.
The only thing I can think of as well that would be really hard for those sorts of things is shift workers. You've got no control.
But then you got to regulate your life as much as you can.
Yeah, to figure around that, and obviously do the things to look after your body.
Yeah,
making sure you're getting other rest.
Yeah,
doing all the healthy things.
Yeah.
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 Eating well, herbs, supplements, treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we do need shift workers. So
It's an inevitable, and those people are amazing for doing it.
I did it for years. I've never been so sick in my life.
Yeah. I feel like there's like a really short stint of time.
I worked night shifts for 12 months and I looked like a freaking vampire at the end of it. I was pasty white, so sick. It was ridiculous. And I was super, super depressed as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't recommend it.
No. But thank you for the people who do, and please come get treatment. Is there anything else you want to say about sleep?
No.
No. Well, thank you for listening today. We're going to share a couple of those resources in the show notes. And yeah, as always, if you have any questions about sleep or anything health related, please message us. We'd love to answer them for you in our school group. And yeah, we wish you a good night's sleep, and me too, please, toddlers sleep.